Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we try to analyze Bitcoin through the lens of time-weighted average price. None of the content financial advice. Right now, price of Bitcoin is somewhere close to 78k, $78,300 to be specific. It's well above the 200-week simple moving average, which is at 60,500, and the 300-week simple moving average, which is 52k at 52k. For context, in the prior bear market, let me just reset this. In the prior bear market of 2022, the price of Bitcoin bottomed well below the 300-week simple moving average. The bear market before that, at the 200-week simple moving average, that was the bottom in 2018, and again then the secondary bottom in 2020. Also in 2015 bear market, the 200-week simple moving average provided 1 week below close to the 300-week, where the first 300-week were completed for Bitcoin as an asset. The 200-week, whenever this blue line turns white, that's when the bottom is close to be in. Evidence number 1, 2, 3. Now potentially we are in the fourth leg of the same occurrence. Again, not to be sounding too deterministic on just one single model, the time-weighted average price model analyzes Bitcoin price through a different mechanism, which is all single days average price of that day stitched together for the last 12 years, and this average price informs the time-weighted average price, which is the white line over here, trying to tune out the entirety of the price action through the lens of the gravity of time. This is my own model. This model is available on CryptoWeeklies.com, link on the bottom of your screen. It's all available for free on that website. You can check out how to go there using this. This is the home page of the website. Has other indicators such as the overall sentiment risk, the popular narratives, the sentiment breakdown, the accumulation versus distribution composite risk analysis, where Bitcoin composite risk has now grown to 0.35. Anything above 0.3 is outside of the accumulation zone. Coming to the time-weighted average price model over here, this model, again, as mentioned previously, again provides dual purpose. First is using the proportional distance between the price and the time-weighted average price, inform these risk levels, and using that difference and the delta in terms of percentages of the time-weighted average price. So it's proportional in that regard. So the delta between the time-weighted average price right now 177%, although the price is very different today in 2026. In 2018, again at 177% delta over here, with a different price number, 7,300 and 2,700. Again, one could argue that in the last 8 years or so, the reality has shifted by 10x. Roughly speaking, the price is 10x of 7,300 at 73k or 78k, and the time-weighted average price has moved from 2,700 to now, roughly speaking, $28,000. Yet the fundamentals stay the same or similar in that regard, that the proportional distance between the price and the time-weighted average price, which informs this risk levels over here, which is this yellow risk level or risk level 7. I'll get rid of the other risk levels for us to spend some more time on the risk level 7, especially in the typical bear market years, per the 4-year cycle theory for Bitcoin. Every 4 years, once in 4 years, there is a bear market year. So for example, in 2018, the price at the beginning of 2018, if we add some other risk levels, you would be in a better position to understand this. Risk level 7 and 8, let's say 2018 started at risk level 9, actually, somewhere over here. This is late January 2018. Price was at around 10k. Early January 2018, where the peak occurred over here, late 2017, early 2018 over here. At 15k, the price capitulated to towards the end of 2018 to about 3k level. Even in 2022, where the price actions started at around 50k, this is 2022, and 2023, by the time price went to 2023, the price had gone at to one point from $50,000 to $15,500. So in these bear market years, whenever the price spends a lot of time at risk level 7, like it is doing right now since late January 2026 to now almost early May 2026, so almost 4 months, coming into fourth month. So this prolonged presence in this heightened risk level per the time weighted average price, you can check how this is calculated and what does it mean to have a undervaluation zone, fair valuation zone, and overvaluation zone based on the distance between the price and the time weighted average price. This by far filters out the noise, unlike just the standard moving average. Time weighted average price requires a sustained and prolonged shift for it to get reflected in the time weighted average price. So for example, over here, the sustained and prolonged shift in this 2017 rally that started and in late 2016 and continued all the way till early 2018, pulled the time weighted average price ahead like a magnet, and then the price kind of the time weighted average price kind of stabilized. Although there were drops in the bear market, the price still stayed well above the time weighted average price even at the bear market lows. Again, same thing happened in 2022. The price at the floor was higher than the time weighted average price. That's why the time weighted average price for Bitcoin keeps growing as Bitcoin matures as an asset. So not expecting the price to fall all the way to the time weighted average price in the towards the bottom. Again, you can see the 2022 in 2022 the risk level 3 offered that bottom. In 2018 risk level 2 offered that bottom, and in 2014-2015 the risk level 1 offered that bottom. So this time around one could make a logical case of even risk level 4 being the bottom or risk level 5 being the bottom. But again, at risk level 7 the market stays at an elevated the Bitcoin asset stays at an elevated risk level, kind of like it was in 2018 all the way from June 2018 till about late October, early November 2018, where the price spent a lot of time at this risk level 7. Typically risk level 7 is the range for risk level 7 is somewhere between 130% difference with the price and the time weighted average price, and 175 to 180% difference. So 120 to 180% difference between the price and the time weighted average price. So for Bitcoin to get a correction, let's say in the second half of 2026, and probably coming closer to that risk level 6 or risk level 5, the entry point for risk level 6 is close to 100, as mentioned. Anything below 120% difference between the price and the time weighted average price, and between 90% and 120% difference. Bitcoin hasn't seen risk level 6 since about late October 2023. So if it's almost 2.5 years to 3 years gap between the current price and then price action and the risk level 6. So this has been a long time due. Again, something similar happened from that 2020 rally all the way. It took 2.5 years, less than 2 years to get to that risk level 6 last time around. This time around the bull market was stretched out, and again the magnitude never rose to risk level 10. So risk level 10 Bitcoin did not see since 2021 November. So if this time around the peak was at risk level 9, it provides more evidence that we might not see risk level 3 at the bottom, maybe risk level 4 and risk level 5 with a higher likelihood. But again, risk level 6, again, if we try to be more optimistic about Bitcoin bottom, at least risk level 6 might come into play in 2026 for that accumulation window to open up. Right now at these elevated risk levels at risk level 7, although many indicators are suggesting that Bitcoin has fell below the fair value or is in an accumulation territory, this particular model has not done yet. It's actually giving us a warning sign that Bitcoin might be spending a lot of time in this risk zone, the risk level 7 zone, like it did back in 2018 for almost half of the year, and also in 2022, although this was shorter in 2022 again. But bear in mind that the bull run for 2021 was much shorter compared to that 2017 bull run again, which started in 2016 and ended up in 2018. This time around again, one could make a case that the bull run actually started somewhere over here in 2023 and lasted for again like 2 years till late 2025. Whereas in 2021 time period, the bull run again had a panic drop in March, essentially kicked off in late October, November 2020, and lasted only till about 1 year, from October 2020 till October 2021, October, November 2021. So again, structurally speaking, this cycle speaks more towards that 2017-2018 cycle in terms of the bull run, and also now the bear market risk levels are also kind of lining up more with that 2018 bear market, which had a prolonged presence at this risk level 7. So, and one thing to note over here, again, just zooming in slightly over here, that in that 2017-2018 bear market, as the price had that, again, not all areas over here were new lows. So in June, mid-June, then towards the end of the June, there was a slightly a lower low from these structure over here, which started essentially since about early to mid-May. So there was a series of lower lows over here at a daily average price level, but then there was some structure of higher lows as well. So for example, over here, as July began, and also at that point the low was at around $6,200, and then again 6,180, then again 6,199, 6,300, and again 6,2225, which was kind of slightly lower than the July low, but essentially it did put a series of triple to quadruple bottoms over here at a daily level, but that did not provide the significant weight toward the eventual outcome of where Bitcoin had to be headed. So again, over here one could draw that there is a series of higher lows in at play, a straight line over here. Something similar is happening in 2026 as well, where again there is a series of higher lows since that February 2026 bottom. The higher lows are in play, and also higher highs are in play. One could say that from here to 72k, then 74k, now 77k, and at one point 78, 79k came into fruition, and the lows also from 62k, then again 64k, 65k, 66k. So 10x of what happened over here, roughly speaking. Then again, I'm not arguing that there has to be a 50% drop like there was from that risk level 7 to risk level 4 or risk level 3, where the price action at that floor was at around 3,600, and again 10x would be 36,000 for Bitcoin. That would be way too bullish, way too bearish over there. The entry point for risk level 5, if we go by the 10x logic, would be close to 50k. That was $4,800 back in 2018. 10x of that would be close to 50k. And at 50k, if the time weighted average price at that point is about $30,000, and if Bitcoin goes to 50k, that would be about somewhere close to between 50% or 75% premium on that, between 50% and 75% premium on that eventual time weighted average price based floor. So that could again look somewhat similar to how Bitcoin bottomed in 2018, although not as severe as that bottom, but yet risk level 5 might come into play at that level. So right now, as we spent a lot of time arguing that risk level 7 offers us kind of a precarious position for Bitcoin to stay at these elevated risk levels in a bear market here. let's see how long price stays in this risk level. Again, for context, in 2018 the price did temporarily leave the risk level 7 and enter that risk level 8 for 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 about 2 weeks, not continuously, but about 14 days, where the price stayed in the risk level 8, again then came back and cooled off in risk level 7. So that also might be something Bitcoin might do temporarily in May or June, and then again come back in risk level 7. So two things might happen: either there would be a breakout to the positive side, if not in temporarily, and then come back and either go back down and at least test the 200-week simple moving average, which is at around 60k, $60,500 at this point. And if the price action were to fall to 62k yet again, the difference between the price and the time weighted average price would be much lower this time around, because again at that point the floor was at around 129%, but now the time weighted average price from that $27,000 level has grown to right now at around 28,250, and by the time the next drop might occur, the time weighted average price could be well close to 29,000. So that's also something to consider. With all of that, hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.